I stand in front of the full-length mirror in my bedroom, fastening a statement pearl necklace around my neck, the kind Iris Apfel would wear. Bold, unapologetic. The pearls catch the afternoon light streaming through my lace curtains, and for a moment, I feel like myself again. Then I hear them. Look at what she's wearing. She looks like she's going to a damn carnival. William? My son. His voice carries through the door. He didn't bother to close all the way. We need to talk about selling this house, babe. She can't take care of herself anymore. Look at her. That's Lydia, my daughter-in-law, the woman who smiled in my face at Thanksgiving and called my sweet potato pie rustic. I don't move. I just keep looking at myself in the mirror, adjusting the necklace, smoothing down my emerald green silk blouse. Today is my 62nd birthday. And it's also the day I decided to stop being the good mother who pretends not to hear. My name is Evelyn Gibson. I taught English for 38 years on the south side of Chicago. I taught mayor's kids, gang members' kids, and everything in between. I taught them Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou. I taught them that words have power, that dignity isn't given, it's claimed. My classroom was in a building with bars on the windows, but inside those walls, my students learned to dream in complete sentences. I retired 3 years ago. My husband Charles left me this house when he passed, a beautiful red brick Victorian with a garden out back where I grow tomatoes that actually taste like something. It's paid off. It's mine, and my son calls it a burden. They don't know about the safe behind the abstract painting in the hallway, the one Charles installed 20 years ago. Inside that safe, I keep 2 things: a new will I had drawn up last month, and a letter, a 40-year-old letter that will change everything they think they know about this family. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to 6 months ago, the day they moved in to, quote, take care of me, unquote. It was a Tuesday in May. I was sitting on my front porch with my coffee, reading the Tribune, when William's Range Rover pulled up. Not the driveway. The curb. Like he was visiting. Not staying. Ma, we need to talk. He didn't hug me. Lydia stayed in the car, checking her phone. Her blonde highlights caught the Sunday she'd just gotten them done. I could tell. What's wrong, baby? Nothing's wrong. Lydia and I have been talking, and we think it's time. You're getting older. Living alone in this big house. What if you fall? What if something happens? I sipped my coffee. Waited. We want to move in. Help you out. Make sure you're okay. I should have said no right then. But he's my son, my only child, the boy I raised to believe family means something. For how long? Just until we figure things out. Maybe look at some senior communities for you. Nice places, Ma, with activities. People your age. People my age. I was 61 and still running 5 miles every Saturday morning. But I said yes, because that's what mothers do. We say yes even when every instinct screams no. They moved in that weekend. 3 suitcases became 10. 10 became furniture. Lydia started rearranging my kitchen, said my system didn't make sense. William started talking about power bills and property taxes like I hadn't been paying them myself for 40 years. Then came the paperwork. Ma, we need you to sign some things, just in case. Medical power of attorney. You know, if something happens and you can't make decisions. Lydia slid the papers across my dining room table, the same table where I'd helped William with his homework, where Charles and I ate Sunday dinners. I picked up the first page. Read it slowly. They watched me like I was a child trying to sound out words. This gives you control over my finances. Only if you're incapacitated, Ma. It's standard. I set the paper down. I'll have my lawyer look at it first. William's jaw tightened. You don't trust your own son? I trust my lawyer more. That's when things shifted. The smiles got thinner. The conversations got shorter. I started hearing them late at night, planning, plotting. They thought I was asleep. They thought I was old and deaf and desperate for their company. But I grew up in a house with thin walls and learned early how to listen. Last week, I found out about the second set of papers, the ones Lydia had already filed downtown, a forged power of attorney with my signature. Not perfect, but close enough to fool someone who wasn't looking hard. My lawyer called me, asked if I'd signed documents transferring partial ownership of my home. I told him no. He told me to be careful. That's when I knew. They weren't here to take care of me. They were here to take everything. So I went to the safe. I took out the letter, the one Charles wrote me before he died, the one that starts, "Evelyn, there's something I never told you about William." And I read it again. Every word. Then I made my decision. Today, on my 62nd birthday, wearing my pearls and my silk blouse and my dignity, I'm going to walk downstairs. I'm going to sit at my dining room table. And I'm going to show them exactly who they're dealing with. Because the woman they think they're deceiving taught hundreds of children how to spot a lie. And I've been grading their performance this whole time. They're failing. I walk downstairs the morning after they move in, and something is different. The locks. I try my key in the front door. It doesn't turn. I stand there in my bathrobe, holding my coffee, staring at the brass deadbolt that no longer recognizes me in my own house. "Oh, Ma, sorry. Should have told you." William comes down the stairs in his pajama pants, yawning like he just woke up in a hotel. "We changed the locks last night. Security upgrade. This neighborhood's not what it used to be. I'll get you a copy of the key later." Later never comes. By the end of that first week, my things are moving. Not all at once. Just slowly. A box here, a lamp there. I come home from my book club on Thursday and find Lydia standing in my living room, surveying it like a real estate agent. "Evelyn, we need to talk about space." "Not Mom. Not even Mrs. Gibson. Evelyn. This room gets the best light. I'm starting a wellness coaching business. Online consultations. I need a professional space." I look around my living room, the room where Charles and I watched every Super Bowl, where William took his first steps, where I sat when the principal called to tell me I'd won Teacher of the Year. Where am I supposed to sit? There's a perfectly good couch in the basement. We set up a little area for you down there. It's cozy. Cozy. The basement where I keep Christmas decorations and old yearbooks. I'm being moved into storage in my own house. But I don't fight. Not yet. I pick up my book, and I go downstairs, and I sit on that couch in the basement, and I start taking notes. Every day, it gets worse. Dinner becomes a performance. Lydia cooks. Not soul food, not the meals I grew up making. Quinoa, kale, things she pronounces with her North Shore accent that sounds like money and tennis lessons. "Evelyn, that blouse is very bright. Don't you think women our age should dress more neutral, more elegant?" "I'm wearing yellow. Charles always said I looked like sunshine in yellow." "My age? You're 36, Lydia. We're not the same age." William jumps in. "Ma, she's just trying to help. You do wear a lot of color. It's a little much. You're a grandmother now. You should look the part." "I have no grandchildren. William and Lydia don't want kids. Too expensive, they say. But he wants me to dress like someone's grandmother anyway. My students used to say I dressed like a rainbow. They loved it." "Your students were being polite, Ma." I set down my fork. Look at my son, this man who used to bring me dandelions from the yard and call them flowers, who cried when I dropped him off at college, who once told me I was the strongest person he knew. "You're right," I say quietly. "Maybe I should tone it down." Lydia smiles. Victory. That night she brings me tea. "Chamomile," she says, "to help me sleep. I've been looking tired lately. Stressed." I drink it. Not all of it, just enough that she sees me drink it. 20 minutes later, I feel it. The heaviness. The pull towards sleep. I recognize it because I took melatonin once after Charles died and couldn't sleep for 3 days straight. This feels the same. Thick, weighted. I go to my basement room. I lie down on the couch. I close my eyes. And I listen. I hear them upstairs. Footsteps. Whispers. Is she out? Should be. I put 2 pills in there. She'll be gone for hours. They're in my room now, my real bedroom, the one they've claimed as theirs. I hear drawers opening, papers shuffling. Where does she keep the bank statements? Try the desk. Old people always keep everything in desks. Old people. I'm 62 and ran a half marathon last year. My phone is under my pillow. I bought it 6 months ago. Latest iPhone. William said I didn't need it. Too complicated for me. I bought it anyway, and I learned every feature. I slide my hand under the pillow, open the voice memo app, hit record. Found them. She's got $240,000 in savings, plus the house is worth at least $700. That's William, my son, counting my money like I'm already dead. That power of attorney you had drawn up, when can we use it? We need her to sign it first. Or we do it the other way. What other way? A pause. Long enough that my heart starts pounding so hard I'm afraid they'll hear it downstairs. There's a guy, does documents. He did my buddy's divorce papers when his wife wouldn't sign. $300, perfect forgery. William, that's illegal. So is stealing from your employer, Lydia. But you did that at your last job, and here we are. Silence. Then her voice, smaller. That was different. They were going to fire me anyway. Exactly. Sometimes you do what you have to do. She's not going to be around forever. This way, we're just making sure we're taken care of. It's our inheritance. We're just accessing it early. I lie there in the basement of my own house, phone recording every word, and I feel something I haven't felt in 3 years. Clarity. This isn't about them helping me. This isn't about family. This is a hostile takeover. And my son, the boy I raised to be honest, to be kind, is planning to forge my signature and steal everything Charles and I built. I hear them leave my bedroom. Hear them go back downstairs to Lydia's office, the living room that used to be mine. I stop the recording. 38 minutes. Every word, every plan, every crime they're about to commit. I save it. Back it up to the cloud, email it to myself, to my lawyer. Then I close my eyes for real, because tomorrow I have work to do. They think they're playing chess, but I've been teaching strategy to teenagers for 38 years, and I never lose. The next morning, I wake up at 5:30, same as always. I make coffee. I sit at the basement table they've given me, and I think about that safe upstairs. The one behind the abstract painting in the hallway. The one William and Lydia don't know exists because Charles installed it himself, told no one, and gave me the combination on our 40th wedding anniversary. I wait until I hear the shower running upstairs. Lydia. She takes 40-minute showers. I've timed them. I slip upstairs. The hallway is quiet. Morning light comes through the stained glass window Charles loved. I move the painting aside, spin the dial, 4 numbers, our wedding date. The safe opens. Inside, there are 2 things. The new will I had my lawyer draw up last month. And an envelope. Yellowed. Sealed with tape that's gone brown with age. Charles's handwriting on the front. Just 2 words. My Evelyn. I've seen this envelope 1,000 times. Charles told me to open it after he was gone, after the funeral, after the grief settled. I wasn't ready before, but I'm ready now. I take it downstairs. I sit on my basement couch. I open it. The paper inside is lined notebook paper, the kind I used to grade essays on. Charles's handwriting is shaky. This was written near the end, when the cancer had spread to his bones and holding a pen hurt. My dearest Evelyn, if you're reading this, I'm gone, and there's something I need to tell you, something I should have told you 40 years ago but couldn't. I was too afraid. Afraid of losing you. Afraid of breaking you more than you were already broken. In 1986, you gave birth to our son. I remember every second of that day. How you screamed. How much blood there was. How the doctors rushed you away and I stood there useless, holding my coat, praying to a God I barely believed in. You were in a coma for 4 days. Brain bleeding from the hemorrhaging. They said you might not wake up. And if you did, you might not be the same. Our son didn't make it. He was born sleeping. Perfect little face, 10 fingers, 10 toes, but no breath, no cry. I held him. I named him in my head. Charles Jr. Then I let them take him away. When you woke up, you asked for the baby. You asked if he was okay. And I looked at your face, so pale, so weak, barely alive yourself, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't tell you that our son was dead. The doctors said the shock could kill you. Your brain was still bleeding. Any stress could finish what the hemorrhage started. So I made a choice. God forgive me, I made a choice. There was another baby born that same night. A boy, same weight, same dark hair. His mother was 16. She left him at the hospital, said she couldn't keep him, didn't even name him. The doctor, Dr. Patterson. He understood what I was thinking before I even said it. He was there when they told me you might die. He saw me hold our dead son. He brought me that abandoned baby, put him in my arms, and he said, "She doesn't have to know. This baby needs a mother. Your wife needs a baby." Sometimes God works in strange ways. I brought him to you. I said, "This is our son, our William." And you looked at him with so much love, Evelyn. So much pure love. And you lived. You fought your way back because you had something to live for. I never told you. 40 years, I watched you raise him, love him, sacrifice for him, and he was yours in every way that mattered except blood. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm not sorry you lived. I'm not sorry I got 40 more years with you. I'm not sorry we raised that boy together, but you deserve to know the truth. And if he ever hurts you, if he ever makes you question your worth, I want you to know. You gave everything for a child who isn't biologically yours. That's not weakness. That's not foolishness. That's love in its purest form. You owe him nothing, but whatever you gave him, you gave freely. I love you. I always will. Even from wherever I am now. Charles. I read it twice, then a third time. The words don't change. I sit there on the basement couch in my own house, holding a letter from my dead husband, and I feel my entire life rearranging itself. William isn't mine. My real baby died 40 years ago. The son I raised, the boy I loved, the man upstairs planning to steal my home, we share no blood. I should feel rage, betrayal, at Charles for lying, at William for existing, but I don't. I feel grief, pure, clean grief, for the baby I never got to hold, for the son who never took a breath, for Charles, who carried this secret until it killed him. I set the letter down. I look at my watch. 7 minutes. I've been crying for 7 minutes. I stand up. I walk to the basement bathroom. I wash my face. I look at myself in the mirror. My eyes are red. My face is swollen. I take off my nightgown. I put on a dress, royal blue, with pockets. I put on my big tortoiseshell glasses, the ones William says make me look like a retired librarian. I look like a retired librarian who just found out her entire life was a lie. And I say out loud, to my reflection, to Charles, to God, to whoever's listening, my love for William was real. Every bit of it, every sleepless night, every parent-teacher conference, every birthday cake, every hug, that was real love. But he doesn't get to use that love to destroy me. Not anymore. I pick up my phone. I have recordings, I have evidence, I have a lawyer who's been waiting for my call. And I have a plan. They wanted to take everything from me. But you can't take anything from someone who's already decided to walk away. I make the call at 8 in the morning, Tuesday, exactly 1 week after I found Charles's letter. Townsend and Associates, how may I direct your call? I need to speak with Nicole Townsend. Tell her it's Mrs. Gibson, her 10th grade English teacher. 30 seconds later, a voice I haven't heard in 15 years comes through the line. Mrs. Gibson? Oh my God, is everything okay? Nicole Townsend. Sat in the third row, back left. Wrote an essay about Thurgood Marshall that made me cry. Got a full ride to Northwestern, then Harvard Law. Now she's one of the most respected attorneys in Chicago. Specializes in elder law and estate protection. Nicole, baby, I need help. And I need it quiet. We meet at a coffee shop in Hyde Park. Far from my neighborhood. Far from anyone who knows William and Lydia. Nicole walks in wearing a navy suit that probably costs more than my car, but when she sees me, she smiles the same smile from 10th grade, the one that said she was going somewhere. Mrs. Gibson, you look amazing. You always were a good liar, Nicole. We sit. I show her everything. The recording. The forged documents my lawyer found filed downtown, Charles's letter. All of it. She listens. Doesn't interrupt. When I finish, she leans back and lets out a long breath. How fast do you want to move? Yesterday. Good, because I don't like bullies, and I really don't like people who prey on my favorite teacher. Within 48 hours, Nicole has everything ready. The house, transferred to a nonprofit trust. The Evelyn Gibson Future Teachers Fund. Irrevocable, every penny of my retirement account, $240,000, into the same fund. Scholarships for Southside kids who want to teach, kids who look like me, kids who need someone to believe in them the way I believed in my students. William and Lydia can't touch it. Ever. Now, Nicole says, sliding papers across her mahogany desk. Let's talk about succession. Who runs this fund when you're gone? Who benefits? I think about this, about legacy, about who deserves what I've built. Then I remember Thanksgiving dinner, 2 years ago, before Charles died. Lydia's family came, North Shore people with summer homes and trust funds. They brought Lydia's niece, Shanice. 16. Beautiful dark-skinned girl with box braids and a nose ring. I remember Lydia's mother pulling Lydia aside, whispering, not quiet enough. Why did you bring her? She's an embarrassment. Looks like a rapper. Acts like trash. Your father and I agreed we're done with that side of the family. That side of the family. Shanice's father is black. Lydia's half-brother from her father's first marriage. The marriage the North Shore relatives don't talk about. I remember Shanice sitting at my table, shoulders hunched, trying to disappear. I remember sitting next to her, asking about school, learning she wants to be a writer, loves Toni Morrison, carries a notebook everywhere. I remember thinking, this girl is drowning and no one's throwing her a rope. I want to adopt someone, I tell Nicole. She blinks. Excuse me? Lydia's niece, Shanice. She's 16. Her family's rejected her. I want to bring her in, make her my legal heir. She gets the fund when I'm gone. She gets the scholarship money to administrate. She gets everything. Nicole grins, the same grin she had when she aced her final exam. Mrs. Gibson, you're diabolical. I love it. Shanice's father signs the papers in 4 hours. He's relieved, grateful. His daughter will have stability, education, a grandmother who actually wants her. Shanice moves into my house 3 days later. Not the basement, my actual bedroom, the one William and Lydia claimed. I tell them it's temporary, a favor to family. They're furious but can't say no without looking heartless. Shanice and I become a team. I help her with college essays. She helps me plan what comes next. Miss Evelyn, she says one night, lying on the bed, notebook open. Why are you doing this for me? Because you remind me of my students. The ones who just needed one person to say, "I see you, you matter, you're going to be somebody." She cries. I hold her. And I feel something I haven't felt in months. Purpose. 2 weeks later, everything is ready. I send out invitations. Handwritten. Formal. You are invited to a family reconciliation dinner at the home of Evelyn Gibson, Saturday, 7 p.m. Dress code, your Sunday best. William thinks I'm surrendering. Lydia thinks I'm finally accepting my place. They both RSVP yes immediately. I invite Lydia's parents. Her mother who called Shanice trash. Her father who pretends his black son doesn't exist. I invite my lawyer. Nicole. A notary public. And I set the table in my dining room, the one Lydia tried to turn into her office. I use my good china, my crystal glasses, the tablecloth Charles and I got as a wedding gift. Saturday arrives. I wear red, a dress that hugs every curve I've earned in 62 years. My iris apfel pearls, my big glasses, red lipstick. Shanice wears a yellow sundress I bought her. Her braids are fresh. She looks beautiful, confident. When everyone arrives, William and Lydia exchange looks. Confusion, concern. Lydia's parents stare at Shanice like she's a stain on the furniture. Everyone, please sit, I say. Voice steady, teacher voice. The one that made teenagers stop talking mid-sentence. They sit. Nicole stands at the head of the table, opens her briefcase. Good evening. I'm Nicole Townsend, Mrs. Gibson's attorney. We're here tonight for the reading of Mrs. Evelyn Gibson's last will and testament, and several other legal documents that require witness and notarization. William goes pale. Lydia's hand grips her wine glass so hard, I think it might shatter. I smile. Let's begin. Nicole opens the folder. The notary sits beside her, pen ready. Everyone at the table is silent, waiting. First, Nicole says, her voice clear and professional, we need to address a criminal matter. William shifts in his seat. Lydia's face goes white. 2 weeks ago, a fraudulent power of attorney was filed with Cook County. It bears Mrs. Gibson's signature, except Mrs. Gibson never signed it. Nicole slides a document across the table. William doesn't touch it. We had it analyzed. The signature is forged. We also have a recording of a conversation between William Gibson and Lydia Gibson discussing the procurement of said forged document, a conversation that took place in this house while Mrs. Gibson was allegedly asleep. I watch William's face crumble, watch Lydia reach for his hand and miss. Now, Nicole continues, Mrs. Gibson could press charges, forgery, attempted theft, elder abuse, but she's chosen a different path. William looks at me. His eyes are wet. He looks 12 years old again, the boy who cried when he scraped his knee, the boy I rocked to sleep 1,000 nights. Ma, he whispers. I don't say anything yet. I let Nicole finish. As of last Tuesday, this house has been transferred to the Evelyn Gibson Future Teachers Fund, a nonprofit trust, irrevocable. Mrs. Gibson's entire retirement savings, $240,000, has also been transferred to said fund. Lydia gasps. Actually gasps. Like someone punched her. The fund will provide scholarships for students from the South Side who wish to become teachers. Students who might not otherwise afford college. Students who look like Mrs. Gibson, who come from where she came from. William puts his head in his hands. Furthermore, Nicole says, and now she's looking at Lydia's parents, Mrs. Gibson has legally adopted Shanice Marie Williams, age 16. As of yesterday, Shanice is Mrs. Gibson's daughter and sole heir. She will inherit the administration of the fund upon Mrs. Gibson's passing. Lydia's mother stands up so fast her chair tips backward. That's absurd. You can't just adopt a teenager. She's nothing. She's not even family. She's more family than you ever were, I say. My first word since dinner started. And yes, I can. I did. It's done. Lydia's father looks at Shanice with disgust. This is what you want? To give everything to some girl who'll probably drop out and have 3 kids by 20? Shanice starts to shrink. I feel her pulling into herself. I stand up. Get out of my house. Excuse me? You heard me. Get out. You're not welcome here. You never were. The only reason you're here tonight is so you could watch me take back my power. Now you've seen it. Leave. They leave. Sputtering. Furious. But they leave. It's just us now. Me. William. Lydia. Shanice. Nicole. The notary. William is crying, real tears, his shoulders shake. Mama, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He slides out of his chair. Gets on his knees. Right there. On my dining room floor. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know why I thought I could do this. You're my mother. You're everything. I'm sorry. Lydia sits frozen. Silent. She won't apologize. I don't expect her to. People like Lydia never apologize. They just recalculate. I walk over to William. I put my hand on his shoulder. The first time I've touched him in 6 months. Stand up, baby. He does. His face is a mess. Snot and tears and shame. You're still my son, I say quietly. The same boy I held when you were hours old. The same child I stayed up with when you had nightmares, when you were sick, when you needed me. That love was real. Every bit of it. Mama, but I'm not the mother you wanted me to be anymore. I'm not the woman you can control, or diminish, or steal from. I step back. Create space between us. This house belongs to students who need it more than you do. This money will change lives. Real lives. Not fund your Range Rover payments or Lydia's wellness coaching business. Lydia flinches. If you want to come back into my life, I continue, you'll do it on my terms. You'll call me Evelyn, not Ma, not Mama, Evelyn, and you'll knock on the door like a guest. Because that's what you are now. A guest. Not my burden. Not my responsibility. I turn to Lydia. And you. You thought marrying my son made you better than the girl you used to be. The scholarship kid from the wrong side of North Shore. But money doesn't make you classy, Lydia. Kindness does. You failed that test. She opens her mouth, closes it, says nothing. I walk to the coat closet. Pull out my bright orange cardigan. The one William said looked like a traffic cone. I put it on. Button it slowly. I put on my big sunglasses, the iris apfel ones, the ones that make me look fabulous. Shanice stands up, walks over to me, takes my hand. Ready, Miss Evelyn? Ready, baby. We walk to the front door. The door I've walked through 10,000 times, coming home from work, from the grocery store, from book club, from my whole life. Nicole packs up her briefcase. I'll handle the rest, Mrs. Gibson. You have my number. Thank you, Nicole. You made your teacher proud. Behind me, I hear William sobbing, saying my name over and over. Mama, 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 Mama. I don't turn around. Shanice and I walk out into the Chicago evening. The sun is setting over the south side, orange and pink and purple, the kind of sunset that makes you believe in beauty even after heartbreak. Where are we going? Shanice asks. Anywhere we want, baby. Anywhere we want. I'm 62 years old. I just gave away everything I owned. I just walked away from the son I raised for 40 years. And for the first time in my entire life, I am completely free. We walk down the sidewalk. 2 women in bright colors, holding hands, moving forward. I don't look back. Not even once.